Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I am going to very late join, hourly Rapid Arena, catching the last hour of this. Should be able to get in 3 games, maybe 4. We'll see who we get. It's been a while since I played some Rapid. 10-0 time control. Okay, took a bit there to get that first round pairing. Woody 15. Let's go with the knight f6. Alright, I guess in the end, I'm still going to put this guy on d5. c4. Alright. Okay, let's approach it with c6. I still want to keep the option open to develop my light square bishop. So, let's see if there's a chop, maybe a capture. Exchange Slav. Maintain the tension. Or maybe be in a position to recapture on c4. These are the moves I'm thinking White would play. Okay, bishop g5. First move that crosses my mind is improve the knight and hit the bishop. Don't have to play in that way. I could also just develop my bishop and just pretend like this pressure here isn't anything. So this, take. Yeah, I'm just kind of weighing if I play here, is there going to be some quick strike against this point? We'll go with bishop f5. I don't think this pressure is going to be anything if they try queen b3. All right, so in this position, I am in time to play e6, so let's get this in. I should mention that I'm not 100% going to recapture the queen in some cases if they captured with the knight. I mean, even before e6, I'm okay taking on doubled f pawns. That's what I am saying with bishop f5. I don't think it should be a big problem with this guy around to kind of remedy or potentially repair the kingside structure. Kind of acts like a pawn and then some from g6. All right, so there's no quick capture or some quick pressure here. I'm going to go with this knight before the bishop because in lines like this, queen b3, queen b6, c5, I want to be able to take, play a6, and before the b5 break is in there, I want to be able to get this rook to a more secure square. I want to be able to get out of a pin. So in short, I'm placing an emphasis on queenside development so that I could not allow white to potentially undouble b pawns. If we have this battle between the queens, we could see this. No, okay, different route. This is what I'm prepared to play in many cases. This is Mr. Expendable. My bad bishop, taking towards the center, of course. I'm still in this pin, not a great way to take advantage of it. Okay, the capture, kind of like seeing this. I don't have to worry about variations where white grabs space on the queen side. And in this case, I'm not taking towards the center because I would be giving up a really big square to 2 pieces. And yeah, I want to have this nice square for my bishop without being bothered. Okay, so first move that crosses my mind, I'm going to put it on. Not because it's the first move that crosses my mind, I just think that it's the correct square for the bishop. If e4 is in, I could always take, knight takes, and then I could go back with the bishop. I could maybe even give check. Nah, I don't like the check because the bishop could return. But a simple line like this I just fall back, break the pin, and probably get a piece exchange. So are they really headed towards the kingside? Kingside castles wasn't an option just yet. Kind of wondering where their king is going to go. This knight is currently boxed out by the pawn. No good forward moves. So I'm thinking about a maneuver like this. Seems sensible. Yeah, I'm not looking at any move like this to create a pawn break. Trying to resolve this tension, I guess, or this pin, I should say. Ask the bishop a question. If queen c2 seems flexible, if queen c2 here, I'm not concerned about some sacrifice here. They'd have to first react to this threat on the bishop. So this is actually pretty serious. Because there's no retreat. I should note I didn't think at all about castling when I played knight to f8, because I'm demoting my rook when I do that. Okay, so I guess we're going to get a knight for a bishop exchange. Guess I'm going to end up with a different set of doubled pawns, doubled f pawns coming up. Okay, so taking with the queen or pawn is, I think, pretty good. If I could get 2 moves in a row, if I could be guaranteed this chop, and then if I could be guaranteed this pawn is on f5, I think I might go for that. This knight could grab a tempo against the queen, although am I guaranteed to get that in? It's another thing. Maybe I am, actually, because I'm thinking e4. Let's see, here e4, but this would fall. And there's even knight here. I think I want to keep the queens on. Yeah, let's play where the queens are on. Let's see, takes here, probably going to go queenside castles. It's a big decision. Do we still want to keep it middle game-like or welcome an ending? I would love for the queens to be off and then get this structure. I guess I'm gonna go with this approach. Spent a lot of time there. Okay, so it is an ending at the end of the day. I'd really like to get this in. I have an opportunity to get that in. At the same time, should I try to prevent this advance? So I'm thinking of a pawn move at this stage. f5 or a5. Gotta go faster. All right, I'm gonna go with f5. I'm kind of saying that if I play a5, if white really wants to get that advance in, they'll be able to. Yeah, maybe I should have played a5, but it's tough to say. Maybe it was more sensible to make them work a little bit harder to get this advance in. One thought that crossed my mind is that I don't really have, in this position, in the opposite color bishop scenario, I don't have this idea to threaten a4. Well, maybe I do, come to think of it. I was thinking if I put this pawn here, it's hit twice and I can't support it again, but I could play this. It's committal. Create this backwards c6 pawn. Maybe that is a way. I still could have played a5. All right. My point with this is I have this big eye on the e4 break. I also stop this advance, at least for the moment. Once this rook is defended, though, this might be a thing. So they're in the tank. This is a good moment to think. Okay, so I could play this now. Maybe I should. Yeah, let's flick this in now. So I could take twice on b5. So here takes, we exchange rooks. I could take on b4 and allow this check because I have this block to stop a skewer. Okay, so they are setting this up. So big question is, should I go with this? I think I do play in this way here. I mean, am I in time to defend this point? Here. If this here, I have b5. Here, let's say push takes here, rook a7. They double. How am I defending this pawn? I'd like my king to be here in that position. Now they still have something to worry about with this a6 pawn. Let's give this a go. Very delicate. All my pawns are potentially, a target for this light square bishop. So let's see how white is going to approach this. This one, gotta play this. This one, well, actually on b4, I don't necessarily have to take. So there's a big difference actually between b3, b4. This ensures the capture. Okay, so they're not approaching it in this way to try and track this pawn down. Okay, so I think I want to take a step in this direction. It's not ideal to have my king on a light square. Okay. Not ideal to have him on a light square, but I want to be closer to defending this pawn should they put pressure on it. I think that knight is a bit clumsy, actually, from that square. I'm keying in on this square now. Maybe the case they're thinking some trick here. Okay, so... Okay, I could get a passed pawn now. Takes here, push. Is that pawn easily stopped? I don't think it is. I'm going to try that, I think. I'm going to give that a go. I could double up. They could put 2 right here, but then, okay, that's a good move. All right, let's improve the knight. If we have this exchange, I mean, I could think about ideas with my king coming up to b4 to assist in defending the pawn. If pawn takes, I'm going to take with the pawn. I don't think I'm threatening anything serious here with my knight. Okay, they captured. Gotta go a little bit faster here. Okay, they just keep pushing ahead. Okay. Just keep pushing. Okay. I'm kind of not liking my decision here to push this pawn. I think how they're playing this is very good. They're going to get that pawn back, and I'm going to get this guy. I think I'm kind of worse here. I guess here? Here, I guess. They're going to be able to get to the 7th rank. Assuming these guys get exchanged. Maybe better to have still kept this square open for my knight if kicked. Oh, they're capturing. It's an interesting decision. Okay, feels very equal now. Gotta defend this base point. And it's very difficult to see how I even make progress now. They have much easier play. I like their structure. These 2 base points, constantly have to babysit them. Okay, actually, maybe I have... I don't know. Put the rook on an active square. Let's go here. Active defense. Sneak over. Maybe this, here, but No, let's try it. King cannot defend both, so. All right. Tough round one game. Bishop takes knight. And I'm going back to that point right now in my mind. I don't like that decision. Yeah. Bishop takes knight. It's silly. I think one of the first comments I made when the knight went there was I didn't like the knight, and then I end up taking the knight. Okay. I mean, I could try for this in here, deflecting the king away. That's maybe something, but this rook is going to continually bother me. They could always play this as well to stop this idea. Not sure how I approach this. I mean, I guess I could have played this right now. Okay, so they could go in there. So I feel like I've been given a little something because of that decision. I am able to take here with check is the thing. Okay, so I think I'm making some progress now. It's the structure, like I'm closer to having this guy become potential problem for white. And it's going to have a move at some point now, I think. Have to be careful of skewers, but I don't see the skewers happening. So if the king moves, I could take here. I'm ready to take this next with check. Let's see how they approach it. Okay, got to recapture. So now this guy's in the crosshairs. They have two connected passers. They have to babysit this pawn, though. It's more about pawn quality in this position. And these guys are, I mean, this didn't even cross my mind, but they have two connected passers, but if I could get these two going, they're already advanced. These guys are set back some. So if they defend the pawn, I think I'm going to play this one and then start going. Oh, they're approaching it like that. I feel like that was helpful because now my king is in a better position and my pawns are further advanced. So I should be winning the race here. I don't. It's tough to calculate this one all out. So let's go all the way back here. I'm opening up a square for my king and I'm in a position to get behind whichever pawn is more dangerous. Might as well keep moving forward with my king. Okay, I could kick this king away. He's going to have to get in the way of this pawn now. My king is in the way of this pawn. I should maybe be noting. Okay, is there a way to track one of these down? Not seeing it. Actually, I only need to go one more step with my king. Here. Yeah, I should be winning this race. I could promote and then get back. If king here, I could track this pawn with check. Okay, that is the correct way. And their king actually gets in the way of this pawn. Could just go. Fall back, track this one down my king. So, yeah, I feel that that rook and pawn ending should have been a draw. But, yeah, well, this game is not yet over. That's the other thing. What's the cleanest conversion? Probably just to come over here. Maybe they're just going to lose on time. King here, simplest. I think this is simplest. They can't stop this pawn, but I could stop these pawns. Ready to take their pawn next with check and take here. Yeah, let's just do it in a simple way. Okay. Yeah, not liking my decision there. Again, bishop takes knight. If I look back at the analysis on that, I'm sure it'll be saying, what are you doing? But that was my train of thought. It was like, bad. I didn't think that knight was good at all on b4, and then my mind was pulled in other directions. What did I start to get interested in? Oh, the idea of a passed pawn. You know, that wasn't good enough. They were able to follow up with those b pawn advances. That was a very nice play to get to an equal ending. So if I could do it again, I'm not taking that knight. I'm probably capturing on b3 with the pawn. Yeah, after b3, take on b3, or maybe just maintain the tension and improve my knight. Okay. Anyhow, that one's in the books. This one here, let's start with e4. Okay, maybe try a Vienna game or Vienna gambit. Yeah. Recently put out a video with this opening. I think it was... I'm forgetting what game it was. Alright, anyhow. d6. So, what are my options here? First thought is to just resolve the tension. I know I'd be helping the bishop, but I like that I get this file. Now if I could get this in, and then d3 without this capture, let's see, here takes, and then d4. How they hang on to this pawn? Maybe they do go ahead with this g5 idea. Maybe I'll just keep it in a simple, approach it in a simple way. Let's go with the capture and just develop a knight. I'm going with the knight before the bishop in this case. Okay, normally I'm used to seeing the bishop go to c5. I did have a threat though, that's the other thing. It's true. So if knight c6, I was prepared to play here. Maybe I still play the check. See if I could pull this knight here, or maybe get a light square bishop exchange. This is my bad bishop, so yeah, I'll play with this. I'm going to go with the check. See if they go with c6, I don't have to worry about knight c6 into here. Okay, so that's something I've gained. Here's the thing. If I play bishop c4, b5, bishop b3, b4, my knight's kicked away from defending this pawn. Maybe I should have factored that in before the check. They could go caveman-like, just launch pawns, kick my pieces around. Maybe I do have to respect that. Bishop c4 here, b3, b4. What else do I have? Knight here, knight takes pawn. I'm not seeing what great follow-up I have there. Okay. Well, guess I'm going to come back. Here, would I play that move? Don't like it. Blocking in my own pawn. So actually, you know, I'm inconveniencing this knight, but I feel like I'm the side who's more inconvenienced. Because I really would like this bishop on this c4 square. Now, having said that, I believe I could take another step with my bishop to get to c4, because now I don't have to worry about b5. It feels like they might be trying for something on f2. Stopping castling. And I think I could get away with moving this bishop for what is now a third time. Change of plans. How fast it happens. Knight g4, queen e2. Okay, they're going in this direction. If I need further support, I have rook f1, maybe even knight to d1 to offset the knight. It's not out of the question. Okay, so they're going with castles. I could give this knight a shove right now. I almost feel like I don't need to, though. Let's carry on with more development. I got this covered. This pawn is pinned also. Okay, so they're really trying to hurt me here on the dark squares. I get it. I am going to go for this maneuver. He is boxed out, after all, from the c3 square. I'm not really inconvenienced with this defensive move. Sometimes I've played this in situations where there isn't some threat on f2, and I'm just doing it to reroute the knight to a very good square on e3. And I may get there. Some h3, and then there you go, knight here, maybe bishop here. Might have to take some cover over the b2 square. They may start to worry a bit about this pawn. Am I going to kick the knight and take here? But that's not really on my mind as much as completing development. So they are okay with taking on double isolated pawns. Interesting decision. I don't think I want to open up another line for their pieces. So this is actually the first thought crossing my mind. I'm going to go with it. I'm really back on the clock. Taking towards the center. I'm shielding this pressure, shielding my b pawn with this. And I think now I'm ready to start kicking these pieces back finally. And I think I'm even going to follow up with g4 because more so as a defensive move. g4 to stop this maneuver into these weak squares. As soon as I play this, g3 as a whole, f4, a knight forking these two squares. It could be a really strong, very annoying piece. I'm also saying I'm probably not going to castle kingside, although, you know what? I still could castle. Yeah, I still could castle. Do I want to go with the bishop or the knight? Okay, I think I'm going to go here, actually, because I'm anticipating that this knight is going into these dark squares, so I don't want to exchange dark square bishops. So he can't get into this square from h5, but this is another angle. It's two squares here. This move can show up at some point. Okay, so they are going for that. I think now I'm actually going to castle by hand. Let's see. Yeah, I want my king here. Yes, and now where to go with my knight? c4. I'm going to go here. Gotta be prepared to knock out the knight if he goes here. This was tempting as well, but I feel like it's eventually going to get kicked away. I want a more stable square. I think this is the more stable square. Of g6, I have h6. It's a positional struggle. Another tight game. King g2. Still need a couple more moves. King g2, a bishop move. Okay, knight there. Pretty much intolerable. So they have a passed pawn. I wonder, though, about this bishop. Hang on. Is this bishop not close to trapped? Here. I think I'm able to get this now. I have two pieces here. This is very timely because now this idea of g6, knight h6, there's this counterattack. I no longer have this support, my dark square bishop. So this guy runs the risk of being trapped, but for the moment, he's doing a good job of stopping the retreats by the bishop. Here is not a stable square. Some variation like this, I'm still trapping the bishop. Maybe this is still their best way. Let's continue with this. I'm going to track down 2 pawns here. C pawn and then the B pawn. Yeah, so that's what they're going for. Here, do I have something better? I mean, could I get away with this move? I have a check here. Is there anything happening with that? Like here and here, maybe I could only give up. There's a way I could do it where I'm only giving up 1 pawn. Yeah, I guess let's just do it like this. And get my king here. Queen has to babysit this pawn. I want my rook here. I'm anticipating pressure on this point. Okay. Let's go here. Yes, rook there. They're playing fast. This is covered twice. They're covering the check here. If my knight is kicked... Oh, you know what? On this move, I have h6. I could always support it with that. Okay, could I force a queen exchange? Maybe I just go to control the knight. Let's go with this. Ask the knight where he's going. This crossed my mind, queen exchange, but something about knight here into this square after my knight is kicked could be a bit of an irritating piece, working around a knight on e3. So knight control is the main thing behind b3. This is probably an irritating piece from their perspective, working around this knight. So here we are, giving me a square. I mean, if they go here, could I get away with taking? King takes, and then queen here, this? Not sure how that's all playing out. I don't have a lot of time either. If I'm given a move, I want to play here, and I'm stopping any ideas of a break. If this, I could also play h4. If this move... Yeah, I mean, f5 might be a move there. f5, because if I'm taking this knight... might have to give the exchange back. Although my knight right here from g4 could be a very important defender. This is covered. 3 minutes left. Okay, I think taking is the right way. And f5, I am on this twice, so if knight here, my plan is f6 first, and then knight here to cover this square. So they are going with that. Let's land the check. Okay, they have this move, but I don't mind if I could get rid of this knight. Definitely would not mind that. Okay, so really close to mate. Here, rook cannot take, or actually maybe no, it shouldn't take. Okay, I have to go faster. Initial thought was knight here. Let's just go with it. Yeah, cover the square. Reliable knight. If they try this, I could take en passant. Maybe I have even better, actually. This, I could play queen takes g6. I should maybe start thinking more about offensive moves right around this stage. I think I've defended all the important squares here. I have a connected passed pawn. Possible ideas of back rank mates might be in the air. They don't have these 2 squares for the king, so these guys can't get too active. The knight jumps in, I have to take. There's a fork. I'd be taking with the knight, and then next trying to round up the pawn. I think it's conveniently rounded up. So here and then here. Improvement for my queen. Defended. I have good coordination. Everything is defended except my queen. Next up this, no good checks. My king is exposed. This knight is a really good defender for my king in situations where this queen might be trying for a perpetual check. A king, well, knight on f3 in particular, is really a standout piece. Okay, that move, I didn't consider them. I didn't think that that would be a move. Okay, I see what they're trying. They're trying to get this guy. Yeah, at this point, though, I don't think it matters if I lose my b pawn. All right, I'm ready to go in here. Let's just get defended first, though. Everything's coordinated here. I'm ready to go in next. Double up. That might be exactly what I do, and this knight will be able to stop the checks. Like if you envision the king on g3, knight here, and the queen back here, there aren't any good checks. That's covered, that's covered. Okay, so I could welcome a queen exchange and do it like this. Checks. I have rook to e2, 2-minute mark. On queen takes queen, okay, let's block. On queen takes queen, I was going to take with the pawn. I'm just realizing I was threatening to give mate there. That's the other thing. And this should force the queens off now. Or I guess you could play here. I should be sneaking in. Could take the b pawn as well. Let's go here. And let's give this check. Oh, you know what I'm just realizing? I could play here. On rook takes, there's pawn takes, and this pawn cannot be stopped. So this is the clean technique, actually. Rook here, I have a check, followed up with knight f7, and they have to give up the rook. So it should be smooth sailing from this point. I didn't want to get into a situation where my knight is responsible for stopping these guys. A race position or anything like that. 25 minutes. These games are going the distance here. And get one more game in for sure. Opponent still thinking this one through. What other options are there? Not seeing them. I should be getting the exchange very soon, at minimum. Okay. And now I'm threatening mate. Yeah, that's mate. Okay. Tough first two games there. One more is probably about it. Let's see. That got really positional right there. Kind of unusual to see those bishop moves. I think queen b6, their queen b6 was not the best. It seemed really active, like you develop a piece, you stop castling. But I believe I was able to get away with moving that bishop for a third time and defending all the important squares, the main ones being in that game e3 and f2. My dark squares. Okay. Number 3. Let's see what opening we got. c3. Why c3? Okay. Well, let's just play d5. c3 normally played when there's pressure. Okay, I'm not sure what the story is here. White is playing. c3 and then a4 are moves that are kind of disconnected, so 2 pawns in the center. Nothing overly sophisticated, just making healthy moves. Both my bishops are ready to play. My opponent is making a lot of pawn advances. Okay. So I have in my mind here that I don't want to put my knight on c6, so I'm going to go for a setup where this knight ends up on d7. Okay, so it seems like it's going to be a game of all pawn advances by my opponent. I mean, I could also approach it where I play more aggressive, and I think I do. I think this is going too far. Okay, so seeing how I want my knight on d7, I want this guy out first. So I guess they're probably going to play some move like this, shooting for a tempo against my bishop. This might be a player who's excited about making pawn moves that attack minor pieces. Okay, no prep work for that just yet. Let's get this knight here. I'm not concerned about a pin. I'm looking at this move. Continue to push. Okay. This bishop here. I don't need to react to these pawn moves. I have a huge lead in development. And I will look to crack open the position soon. So this is healthy. I'm in a pin. Let's try and get rid of that pin. I'll be recapturing with my knight rather than my queen if there's this capture. This is a better improvement than queen takes. The train of thought in my case here is not, well, this queen isn't yet developed, so let's develop the queen. It's more about let's maintain a knight on a perfect square. F6 is a perfect square. My queen has some flexibility. Maybe here, something might happen on this diagonal. One day might be worthwhile to maintain pressure on a5 as well. I am placing a restriction on this rook for as long as my queen stays home. I'm not going to castle so soon, I don't think. Okay, so they just fall back. Okay, well, I think I do want to make the decision now with my queen. I don't care so much about keeping pressure here. Let's put the queen here. They're playing it like, do they want to first see where my king goes? And like if I go here, they're ready to go like this. Or if I go here, they're ready to make some pawn move and have that pawn be a thorn. I should note that I'm staying off of the c7 square because I want to avoid scenarios where there's a break. I mean, I probably could go ahead and allow that. So here, takes. I could recapture with the knight. Yeah, rook takes, knight takes. Even a follow-up queen check, I can move my king and my knight in the corner would be defended. But in general, I want to stay out of this idea of white potentially opening up the queen side because I still might want to have this side of the board as a safe haven for my king. Okay. Now, on one hand, I want to be welcome to the position opening up. So this is maybe a first move, but this is actually the first one I'm thinking about. I like this idea to grab space. There is still a pawn break in the position. So now where does this guy go? This is this guy right here. My d4 pawn is a great bother to the queen knight. Queen pawns. Space invader, queenside pawns. I should say a queen pawn that has space is frequently an inconvenience to the queen knight. So they're trying to lock this position up further. So I think this is where I say, you know what? Let's open up the position. Take on Passan. I mean, I could probably even invest a knight, but I don't want to play in that way. So takes. They take with the pawn. I'm able to push here, have this. So I'm assuming on this, the bishop recaptures. Am I then ready for e4? Probably play e4 there. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's open up the position. There are slower approaches. I feel like I could also do it where I just let this pawn exist and maneuver to get a different pawn break in and keep this guy still around. So surprised they're not recapturing with the bishop just yet. Maybe I shouldn't be, because they've made so many pawn moves so far. They may be looking more into the pawn capture, and this should not be right. For sure. Because now I'm getting this break in. We have ideas of a check. We're 12 moves in, and we got all pieces back home. We got to check this. Now with the center opened up like this, I'm thinking more about kingside castles, both rooks in the center, and everything is feeling optimal. Maybe they try and keep things closed somewhat with d4, but I could still capture and open up more lines. The diagonal opens up, half open file opens up. I'm punching with this move at their middle pawn. Kind of view these as a pawn island. They do have a pawn island of 5, but of these 3, center pawn right here, I want to put some pressure there. Maybe this guy becomes isolated. That's what happens if these 2 get exchanged. We have this ready-made target. Isolated pawn on a half-open file, pressure by the queen, eventual pressure by a rook. So they have a lot to figure out here, for sure. Checks, captures, knight improvements. Any more pawn moves? G4 is covered. G4 is a hole. G3 is a hole. A lot of holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nearly 10. Am I missing any? There's a lot of holes. Where's there a hole in my position? Here and here. Okay. Some positional details. Okay, so rook lift to defend there. So I have the check. I almost feel like I don't even need to flick that in. It's almost like I don't mind if they're uncastled or castled. I just don't think they even have time to get the moves into castle. If the knight goes here stopping this move, then where does the bishop go? Maybe I just castle here. I'm just going to castle. I don't even want to land the check. If pawn takes, I'm probably improving with the knight. The knight on that square, bishop here, start to coordinate really well. So, no development for white. I wouldn't be surprised if this player, this is maybe how they kind of approach it. System type player, just go with stuff that they're familiar with. Maybe they're just experimenting for this game. I don't know. It's not healthy, though, this approach. King does not have a safe home. Okay, now the knight is there, but now this square is no longer defended. So, I think now we're chopping, opening stuff up. Knight here is a blunder. It's a pin on the e-pawn as soon as the knight moves. Knight here, knight back home. Are they going to go back home like the bishop did? Okay, the knight goes there. Feels like it's really close to mate. All right, let's start with the check. Only move. Okay. And I mean, this with knight here would be a mate. Yeah, let's go with this one. Rook here was good. There's a lot of good moves. Mate 1 is the threat. I was thinking for a second the queen has this square. She doesn't have this square. She has these two squares. Maybe this is a move. Defending. Knight takes c4, mate. This is covered twice. The square needs to open up for the king. Or this needs to be defended. So bishop move. Not sure what to suggest here. Oh, I was thinking for a second this move I was going to take. On this move I have knight here, which is mate. So 2 possible knight mates. Can't move this knight to open this square up. 2-minute mark. Okay, queen there. So there's a square here. What if I insist? Put some more pressure here. Ideas of this check and then bishop check here. No. Killer bees. Still have this move. If the knight hops in here, may see that. Here, check. There, another check. Maybe this check. Yeah, that should be leading to mate. This, check, here, check. Bishop has to block. Bishop takes bishop for mate. Okay, I guess we're going to get that mate. Mate in 1, 2, 3. Gotta go back. Sure that mate? Pretty sure that mate. Let's check. Pawn has these. Okay. One more game. Probably not going to count for the tournament, but we're going to still get one more in for rapid games. Okay. Somebody, anybody. Okay, here we go. Let's try another e4 game. Oh, Berserk game? Oh, no, I shouldn't. I'm glad I misclicked the Berserk. I just want to play it as rapid, not blitz, so. Okay. I guess we'll just treat it as we'll go into a French or, no, let's take it into a King's Indian attack setup. Normally this is played straight away. Okay, let's continue. Knight f3. Yep. This to avoid the queen exchange. Normally, I don't know if this is a mouse slip or part of the plan, but this guy really belongs here with the knight tucked behind it on c6. So this knight doesn't have a square. Let's carry on with this idea as part of the setup with the King's Indian attack. Connect the knights, maintain a pawn in e4. Make sure this guy is here to duck the queen exchange. Play with a lot of pieces. These lines, okay, that guy has taken a second step. Can I try and round that pawn up? I'm not seeing it. So let's just continue to develop. Maybe this guy ends up moving again. So there's some time waste there. Can I take advantage of that right away? I'm not seeing it. I'm not gonna castle just yet, actually. Let me go with this idea. I just want to, okay, hang on. I was playing a4 to secure a square on c4 for my knight without allowing this. I want to stop b5. So this, I mean, my bishop's eyes have opened up a real lot because of this last move. All right, I guess I still consider, or swing the bat around and throw the knight on c4. This guy's happy. This is a jump. Maybe bishop f4. This might be a square someday, a knight jumping in there. Okay, this knight is unprotected. Where's this guy going? I mean, should I play this move right now? Maybe I think I should, actually. e5 is pretty disruptive. If I play e5, how does black complete kingside development in a convenient way? So e5 doesn't have knight f6, doesn't have this. Where else can he go? If he goes here, are they okay with those doubled pawns? Probably shouldn't be. If that happens, I'm looking at this idea where I coordinate both knights. I really key in on this one square, d6, their weakest square. And if they try some underdeveloping move with the knight here, they get hit with knight d6. So I think I'm going to go for this advance. If I tried it one move later, let's say I castled instead of e5, knight f6, e5, the knight has a perfect square on d5. It's a best piece for black, maybe a best piece in the position. So there's a bit of timing there. Now, how to improve? Queen e2 is healthy. A bishop move is probably healthy as well. Should I maybe stop some caveman-like idea with g5? Maybe I do play in that way, actually. Yeah, I'm going to go with h4. It's not only about maybe preventing some g5, it's probably a bad move, g5, but I'm thinking also about bishop here. A dark square bishop exchange and the knight jumping in. So, multi-purpose move, I guess. I don't know, something like this, chasing my knight away could be a thing. Okay, I think that this is a nice maneuver. Trying to get it here. It's pressure there. Maybe am I helping black out by getting a dark square bishop exchange in? I am threatening knight d6 right away when I play this move. Almost feel like I just want to make a healthy move and not create any tension just yet. Let's see, queen e2 if they go with h6. Where's this guy going? Yeah, at the same time, where's this guy going? Oh. Also, if I play this and there's the capture, I can't take with the knight. I would be okay taking with the pawn. Okay, I guess I'll try to maybe get the H file. Okay, so this is giving me a piece because this bishop is pinned. So knight d6. Yeah, it's not even going to be two pieces for the queen. They can't go down that path. So knight d6 is winning a bishop. Bishop takes knight to get the queen. Gonna resign. Clearly missed that move. This was threatening something. Okay, so they're playing on I was thinking take first, but the queen recaptures and defends, so let's take here. Win the piece, capture here next with check, and then I get to return. I'm just up the piece. I think that's the cleanest way to do it. Take with check. And then bring the knight back into the safety zone. And just up the piece. I think that was the right way. Most annoying instead of simply castling. Alright, I should continue to move forward, I think. Coordinate here. Threaten a rook. Maybe the queen comes out here. Okay, they're missing stuff. I'm on that rook. Just take. I don't mind giving up a pawn. And castle now. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to bring this bishop all the way back. Rook and bishop up. Rook and bishop versus the pawn. This was crossing my mind as well. But after this, eventually I think I'll eventually have to move my knight. I didn't want to have to play here and have my bishop caught in the corner. There's some thoughts on coordination there. I didn't want my pieces to be stepping on one another's toes. Okay. Queen there. I guess now I'll go here. Queen here. Either king move. I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that. I guess I'll go here. 2 moves out from safety. Okay, they're stopping the mate. I have another rook if I want it. I think I maybe even have better mate here. Possibly. Queen takes pawn. Might as well grab a pawn with check. And this one's going to be mate. Okay, that should be tournament over. Alright, let's throw a good games all. GG's all. Alright, yeah, just going to be the 4 games for this one, the late join. Alright, feel free, as usual, to leave any feedback to this video in the comment section below. Hope you enjoyed it and maybe took a thing or two away. That's all for now. Take care.